Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. What's up, Steve? What's up, JJ? What's up, Cals? Yeah, Cals, it is a tough week, but I think there's things we can target here. I mean, it's not going to be a long list of bets on Patreon this week. I'm just going to be realistic. But I think we're going to have a good list, and I think we're going to have more than enough to sink our teeth into. I'm excited to get into this week, excited to get into the show. If you're just entering, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. Hope everyone's doing good out there. Yeah, man, I'm curious, Luis. I'm curious what we're going to see this week. I'm very curious what we're going to see this week. But one observation I'm seeing now is the refs are holding the penalty flags a lot more. So that should help, and that should make the games easier to handicap. That's just me. Are we going to be slamming the unders like we were all year? Probably not. So going to have to calibrate. I keep saying we need to recalibrate on the over-unders, yet the video keeps doing good. So obviously last night the under was completely tragic. But also I want everyone to remember, like, it came down to one throw on a fourth down. And if that was broken up, the under probably would have hit. Although, the game flow of that game was completely off the chains. And that Seahawks team is bad, man. They're bad. They're poorly coached. Gino looked terrible. That 49ers defense has a ton of issues, and we saw that on full display. But still, that Seahawks team just can't get out of their way, man. They just can't. And I'm not really seeing the live YouTube chat, so hopefully that recalibrates. I'm going to open up the YouTube chat here. So we'll get to the Patreon questions first. I think we'll get some guests on tonight. Hopefully we get some good guests on. We had my bad last week for the show. We were a little bit off calibration. I'm using that word a lot. We were a little bit off calibration. Spencer Rattler, Bucks minus 3.5 starting. Spencer Rattler, who you got? I'm excited for Spencer Rattler, man. And when I did the prop show, make sure you go check that out. It's not showing up on Google for some reason. That was one thing that bothered me. If anyone can help me with that, please reach out to me. I will pay you if you know anything about that. But yeah, I'm kind of optimistic about Spencer Rattler. I've always been kind of like a Spencer Rattler hater. Like, I don't follow college football, but I do follow the storylines, and he's one of the biggest disappointments I've ever seen coming out of high school, because I don't know if you guys watched that Netflix show. Yeah, man, he's just kind of fumbled his bag, so to speak. I watched a few games at South Carolina, and I liked his moxie. I mean, I can at least say that. And that's one thing coming into this league. If you're a backup quarterback, you need moxie. But so far, I liked his attitude. He put his head down. He worked hard, and he's getting the nod for the Saints. Like, wasn't he like third quarterback, fourth quarterback the first like 3, 4, 5 weeks of the year? So for him to get the nod shows he's working hard. And I think this Bucks defense is vulnerable. Like, I think the Saints cover, Bucks win. But I think the unders in play that game. But I think Rattler will play pretty decent. I think his player prop at 194 is interesting. But overall, I think both offenses will be down. I do. I really do. Yeah, Saints are banged up pretty bad, Justin. Like, the thing where I'm worried about, I was worried about their offensive line to start the year. But the thing that's worrying me about the Saints at this moment in time is this McCoy injury, and the backup center gets hurt, and then you're just left at it with a gaping hole. And, you already got Cesar Ruiz at right guard, and, he's not going to do a whole lot of good, although he looked better against Chris Jones than I thought. The game flow of that game made me think, why aren't the Saints going to cover this? But with that being said, an already weak interior, you lose your best player in McCoy in the interior. It's not looking good. Like, I'm not seeing a Saints upset win, but I do wonder if Rattler can play good, man. I do wonder. I'm looking forward to it. Nathan Gonzalez, what do you got for the Raiders at home versus the Steelers, John? Hey, what's up, Nate? Hope you're doing good tonight. Firstly, secondly, man, I love the Steelers this game. I'm worried about Arthur Smith with the play calls. Let's be honest about it. I'm not coping for Justin Fields having a little bit slower last two games, but I feel like Arthur Smith is holding this offense back. Where have we seen this story before in Pittsburgh last year? We remember what happened with all that. And I think the Steelers dominate. And also, I've watched a lot of Aiden O'Connell. I watched Aiden O'Connell's film, so you don't have to, okay? And I've watched pretty much every snap Aiden O'Connell has played in an NFL game, and he's not it. But we want to put respect on the Raiders because that Raiders team was about to go up 17 or 13-0 when they had a really good high-low reverse bootleg, and Minshew, all he needed to do was throw it to Bowers. Bowers was wide open underneath for a touchdown. Then he sails it. Surtain brings it back 10-7. Raiders didn't recover. Raiders have been running the ball really well. They were really running it well the first half against the Broncos. So I am a little bit scared in my Steelers pick. I like the Steelers with the -3 as well. But I think Aiden O'Connell, one of his big issues in this league is he holds the ball too damn long. And can you think of a team, the worst team in the league to hold the ball too long is against the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's up, Ron? What's up, Juicy? What's up, Marcy? Hope you're doing good, guys. Slam and Sammy, my Saints are done for the season. Well, I never got on the Saints bandwagon to start with, but I feel like they're showing promising signs. Like, this is more promising than previous years. I mean, let's be honest, man. Like, on that first drive, if Carr just kicks a field goal, although he had the guy open in the end zone and he doesn't throw the pick, I felt like the Saints were alive in that game. I felt like that red zone defense was tremendous. I do feel like that defense is wearing down. Someone pointed to the Saints being banged up going into this week. But overall, man, I'm more bullish on the Saints than I was going into the year. I guess that's a positive. I know they got you guys up. They got you guys up the mountain. Like, you guys were like 10 out of 10 in terms of vibes. But like, my vibes on the Saints are like 6.5, 7. And I've been like low on the Saints, like 4.5, 3.5 for a long time. So I feel like Dennis Allen's doing a great job with the defense. The Kubiak hire on offense has been excellent. Marcus Springfield, I think the Jets upset the Bills. I do too, but I don't know if I want to lead people there. I don't know if I can lead my squadron into that hill again, into that hamburger hill again. I don't. You know, I want to. Like, maybe if it was like 5 years ago, I might have when I was more brash, but I don't know if I can lead us to that hill because that hill is dangerous and there's landmines everywhere. It's just popping out of all corners when we talk about the New York Jets. Like, I do think there's going to be a new coach bounce. This new coach bounce is real. Remember when we rode that Antonio Pierce wave last year? I mean, it is real. It's something that you see more in soccer, and the NFL is an extremely tactical game, so it doesn't have the same vibes, it doesn't have the same bounce, but there is a bounce. And they're getting the Bills at the right time, certainly. Hit the like button. How do you feel about Atlanta -6 over Carolina? The more SK, what's up, SK? The more this week's going on, man, the more I'm thinking Atlanta's going to cover this. On the Tuesday video, I picked Carolina to cover. I'm not mincing my words. Like, it wasn't a money pick or anything. But this Carolina defense, the spine of the team is just completely dismantled. Like, Shaq Thompson's out for the year. Derek Brown's out for the year, and we got a bunch of UPS drivers off the street, XFL players plugged in at defensive tackle and inside linebacker. And you saw Swift, like I mentioned in the prop video, like Swift has been under his rushing yard total every single week. He gets against the Panthers, then he finally has himself a big day. I think the Falcons can beat the living hell out of them. I think it's dangerous. And my Falcons prediction is coming good. The future bets are looking excellent. Like that's why I tell you guys, like if you guys ever get a big bankroll and are down for like the long-term type thinking, future bets are where it's at. They really are. I hope my Patriots one isn't in danger. The under 4.5 wins though with Drake May. I wonder what kind of spot. I wonder what kind of spark he's going to have. Wade Ford, Lawson, let's get it, bro. I really feel if Richardson starting that the Colts can pull out a win in Nashville due to his running capabilities. What's your opinion on that? I mean, Wade, I like the Titans, but I think Joe Flacco gives the Colts a better chance to win. But with the Titans, the issue, the Achilles heel of this Titans team is Will Levis turning the ball over. Will Levis will be getting the start, and that's extremely dangerous. But this Colts team, I'm worried about them defensively. And if the Titans get the run game going, I think Callahan's doing a phenomenal job as a first-year coach in terms of play design. He just can't control Will Levis, and I don't know if anyone can at this point. We've seen way more bad than good from Will Levis. That's my main concern about this. With Anthony Richardson, he really is the epitome of a Joker card. We might as well just paint his face like the Joker in the movie, and make his hair extra crazy because like he is the NFL's version of a Joker card. So it's tough to get against him, man. It's tough to get against him. What's up, Campbell? Yeah, wait, Seahawks linebackers are terrible. They really are. Shapendi, what's up, Shapendi? What's your thoughts about Bears Jacks? Just turned in. I'm going Jacksonville, but the more the week goes on, I'm cooling on it. I am cooling on it a little bit. Like I said, I was talking about the Panthers, and I'm a little bit worried about the Chicago run game. I don't think their offensive line matches up well with this Jags defensive front. So against the Jags, you have to do one thing. You have to throw it, and you have to throw it often. And we're going to need to see a better performance out of Caleb Williams. A lot of the big plays, a lot of the parts where he looked good on Sunday against the Carolina Panthers were in the screen game and the play action game. Is that going to be available against the Jags? I don't think so. I'm still going Jags. I think this London home field advantage is underrated. I don't really mark it as a neutral field. I will tell you one thing. I'm normally not too surprised by lines, but I was surprised by that line when it opened at +2.5, man. I was just really shocked. Okay, here we go. Let's get to the first Patreon question. What's up, Lauren? What's up, Eric? I haven't seen Eric in a while, man. What's up? Kevin, Detroit native here. Is my Lions in a trap situation? I get the rationale for the Lions being in a trap situation, but I certainly don't think so. Like, listen, if this Cowboys offense was humming and you worry about the Lions because we know what the Lions are going to do on defense, they're going to play man-to-man. They're going to try to get tight man-to-man. The strength of the Lions' defense is their run, is their front seven, is them stopping the run. And so we know Aaron Glenn's going to get up tight and play a lot of man-to-man. My issue is CeeDee Lamb breaking a big play. Like, remember when the Giants they leave him open they leave him man-to-man one time, and CeeDee Lamb absolutely destroys the corner. So that's the only danger I see. But you got to ask yourself two questions, Kevin. Are the Cowboys offense playing good enough? Like, I'm seeing strides with the offensive line. I'm not seeing a lot of strides elsewhere. Maybe the scripted plays got better for the Cowboys so far. And has this Cowboys defense made strides and makes you feel confident they're going to stop the two-headed monster of Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs? I'm not certain, man. I'm just not certain they can. Not certain at all. And this Lions team, like they have been in letdown spots, and I get it. Laying 3 on the road, Dallas, whole country watching, probably isn't the situation you want to back. It is a little bit dangerous, but this is one I'm not really going to overthink. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, Wilbur thinks the Jags are going to lose real bad. I mean, it's a possibility, man. It really is. It is a possibility. I mean, this Jags team is just so up and down, and I'm not even talking about up and down week to week. I'm talking quarter to quarter, man. Sometimes, like this is a theme of the Peterson administration, man. This isn't just this year and them struggling this year. They'll play 2 quarters of good football, and they'll play 2 quarters where you think they might be the worst fucking team in the league. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I think the Lions are going to be extra motivated this game, but I mean, Dallas needs to get motivated too. But I wasn't all that impressed with the Dallas performance against the Steelers. I got to say, like, I'm impressed at some of the. I was impressed by the rookie offensive linemen getting into rhythm, getting into sync. But other than that, I haven't been too happy with it, man. Okay, let's get to the Patreon questions. Jake Johnson Lawson, in your opinion, what makes a game between 2 teams a college fun bet game? What do you look for in that game? When I talk about college fun, I talk about a game you want to go hard on, where you look at the lines and you're like, okay, this is like a 3 to 2 point difference from what I'm setting out with. And you have to look at the injury situation, and you have to also play good cop, bad cop. Yes, you obviously are backing aside. We all have to take a lean, and we all have to understand a lot of these spreads are 50-50 splits. We're trying to find a 54, 56 to 44% split, and that's where we make our money. It's harder. It's getting harder as the years goes on. But once you find that, that's when you go hard, when every advantage is in your favor, and when also Vegas is discrediting the side you're backing. And they don't really happen a lot. Like when you make the spreads, or when you see a spread, a lot of times, man, you're like, okay, this spread makes sense. Like, I really like the side. It's a money pick, but this spread makes sense. I see the danger. But in that Chargers Steelers game, like, I saw the danger. I recognized the danger, but I just didn't feel it that much. So that's what you have to calibrate in your head, if that makes sense. And like, that's why I even put out the alternative line for that game. I like the Steelers up to -6 against the Chargers that game. But man, I was impressed with the Chargers that game. The Chargers played an excellent first half, excellent coach, excellent play action game. Ladd McConkey is looking very, very good in this league at wide receiver in the slot. He's looking like a little Wes Welker. So yeah, man. But yeah, that's what I saw. It's like when you have a clear advantage, not just an advantage in your head, but a clear advantage, and Vegas is undervaluing the team you absolutely love in that game. Nick Tallarico, is there any universe where the Giants are a dark horse that pulls upsets? No science, just gut feelings. Nick, I gotta say, man, I don't like the Giants at all this week. I don't. I absolutely hate them this week, Nick. But doesn't anyone else feel like the Giants are undervalued? Here, I feel like they're undervalued in the market. So here's a few reasons why. Obviously, Daniel Jones is a net negative, and he takes away from the team and the personnel. But here's why I think they're undervalued. They have a very good defensive line. I know Thibodeau's going to miss this game, but this is a top 5 defensive line when you got Dexter Lawrence, who's a top 10 defensive player in the league, and then you got other bulls like Brian Burns. So that's one thing. I feel like the coaching staff is very good. Like, everyone had Daboll to be fired early, which obviously would be a mistake, but someone has to be the sacrificial lamb for Daniel Jones. Thirdly, I do think this Giants team, when you bring in Daniel Jones into the equation, it makes people feel nauseous and it makes people feel cautious in the betting market. Like no one wants to back a team led by Daniel Jones with your hard-earned money, or back a team with Deshaun Watson, or how we were betting the Browns last year with DTR. No one wants to bet those teams. No one does. But sometimes you have to, and that's where you find value. We're looking for value in a world with none. That's my opinion on it. The Wiz 30 Lawson. Texans moved to 6.5. I know you said it goes against the fundamentals and you take the 7. Do we pounce on this? I'm a little bit cautious about it. Wiz, I'm a little bit cautious about it. Because I do think Drake May will add some spark. But the reason why I'm cautious about this is because we haven't seen Texans play a B minus game. Every single game, they're churning out slot performances like C minuses, D pluses, C pluses. Like, I think this team is a top 5 team in the league, but the performances just aren't matching up with the personnel. But here's one reason why I want to pounce on it, Wiz. I think I'm going to do the teaser video on Saturday on Patreon. I didn't forget about you guys on Thursday. I really didn't. But I'm going to do the teaser video on Saturday, and the Texans will be included. And I think that's a better option because that's a lot of points. And this year, you do get a little bit squeamish laying these big spreads. We've seen so many teams plus 6.5, plus 7, winning games outright, let alone covering. But yeah, man, here's the issue. Here's the issue why I still think if you bet the Texans minus 6.5, you should be good. Who is going to block Will Anderson? Who is going to block Danielle Hunter? And I'm looking at the Patriots offensive line, and I don't know about you guys, but I try to watch all of these teams. I've only missed like maybe 6 NFL games this year of all the teams included. Man, I don't know if there's a worse offensive line in the league. Patriots offensive line getting banged up. No Jabril Peppers. I know the Texans are coming into this game limping, but at least they get Joe Mixon. But we're talking about sloppiness from the Texans more so than the Patriots getting some sort of boost. But I get the fundamentals about why people are backing the Patriots this game. Mike R, money. Hey, Lawson, hope you're doing well. What are your thoughts on this parlay at plus 253? Steelers plus 3, Lions plus 3, Chargers plus 3.5, Bengals 4.5. I love it. How much did you tease it with? 6 or 7? Because you did have to pass 0, but I like this. The only one I could see in the craziest world of worlds not hitting is the Lions plus 3, and that's the Cowboys come out and have some sort of Alamo type, trench warfare type performance. But guys, I'm not really seeing it. And I do think the Lions come off strong on the bye week. Like maybe if you wanted to take Cowboys first half, maybe they could catch the Lions flat-footed, but full game, I just think Montgomery going downhill is great. Chargers plus 3.5. People don't realize how much the Raiders were whooping that ass before that pick 6 against the Broncos last week. Bengals, I think the Bengals win. Listen, this Bengals defense can't stop anyone, but we need to have a little bit of perspective and not get emotional about it. And then Steelers plus 3. Steelers got to win this game. I mean, if the Steelers can't beat the Raiders are a complicated team. One week they look pretty decent. The next week they look completely terrible. But like I said, I saw some good signs from the Raiders in the first half against the Broncos. The Steelers are a completely different class of opposition. So I absolutely love this parlay, Mike. I'll just say it for the audience. This teaser, I absolutely love this teaser at plus 253. Steelers plus 3, Lions plus 3, Chargers plus 3.5, Bengals plus 4.5. IMG 333. Hey, Lawson, hope all is well. All is great, IMG. Hope you're doing great, my man. What do you think about this 2-team parlay, Chargers and Bengals money line? Also, what is your favorite teaser option this week? Money, money, money. Teaser option will be up tomorrow on Patreon. I didn't forget about you guys. I did not. I'm just buying my time with them because we might do 2 separate ones. Because the 4 legs are getting a little bit exorbitant. They are like we can get 2 legs for like minus 120, minus 130 on some books. I think I'm going to go for the 3-leg option and give us 2 3-leg options. So IMG, if you can wait to Saturday so I can cook this up. I've been trying to cook it up all week. Chargers and Bengals money line. I like it. I think, listen, man, this bye week, I'm not like a big bye week guy. Like I think it affects games, yes, but I look at the situation. I think that off the bye week, this bye week came at the right time for the Chargers. Alt was banged up, Bosa was banged up, Slater was banged up. All 3 should be back. The only one that I think misses the game on Sunday is Bosa. Derwin James is going to be back in the mix. There's some other injuries on this Chargers defense that has played very well. And I don't know if there's a more physical defense in this league than the Chargers. And I also think it's a great time to get against the Broncos. Like I'm starting to see people say like Broncos are a top 5 team in the AFC. Like I think that's like our modus operandi to go attack this a little bit. And you'll see on Patreon tonight. I'm gonna let's just leave that there. But yeah, I like that 2-team parlay. Absolutely love it. IMG. Derek, what's up, Derek? Hey, bro. Hope all is well. Bro, Derek, I'm kind of struggling a little bit, man. I'll be honest, man. I'm letting things get to me that shouldn't be getting to me. Like I'm not showing up in Google search results. I feel like the page is slowly getting suffocated. The YouTube page, really the Patreon page is the only thing that's keeping me going. Like, if you want to know how I'm doing, I don't know why I'm not showing up in Google. I'm not sure why when you type in John Lawson YouTube, like a golf guy is showing up with 2K subscribers ahead of me. Like, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm just not showing up in the search results anymore. So if anyone can help me out with that, please send me a message on Instagram. I will pay you. But yeah, man, the Patreon keeps me going, man. And I appreciate you guys. Philly -2, Houston +0.5 point, Baltimore +0.5 point, Detroit +4, Bengals +3.5, Jets +9.5. Okay, so you want me to take off 1 to 2 games? Let's leave the Jets. Let's leave the Bengals. Let's leave the Lions. Let's leave the Eagles. And if we had to take off 1 game, if we had to take off 1 game, Derek, let's take off Baltimore. Let's take off Baltimore. Like, man, I get you guys. Like, you guys have that sharp, old school gambler mentality. And that's why I love coming on here and talking to you guys. Like, your takes on the Ravens game, like, are helping me make my decision on it. But I'll be honest, man, I feel like this is like buying the Commanders low still. I'm surprised we saw this 6.5. And we're looking at a Ravens defense. Like, I know the Bengals defense got all the headlines for being bad, but that Ravens defense, they're not stopping anyone this year. And they're relying on Kyle Van Noy for a pass rush, which is scary at this standpoint in his career, at this moment in his career. So yeah, man. I'm a little bit cautious on this Baltimore game. I'm surprised no one was really like talking about it when we opened the show, but very cautious about this Baltimore game. So take them off, Derek. I hope you're doing well, my man. Hi, John. Wheezy. Hey, John, want a 2-team parlay? Okay, I'll give you a 2-team parlay. Give me the Chargers. Give me the Bengals. That's what I would go with, Wheezy. Kells! Lawson, what's up? The Arizona game should be jumping all over the. Okay, seems up. Lawson, what's up? In the zone, this is from Cows. Lawson, what's up? In the zone game, should we be jumping all over this game plus 5.5? Seems like it's all trap game. Point spreads are all over the place. I'm a little. I kind of think the Packers might beat their ass, Cows. I kind of think. I'm nervous about the Zona team, man, because I wasn't all that happy with the performance last week against the 49ers, even though they won, as crazy as that sounds. And I'm not happy about what Kyler Murray is doing in the pocket. And I think another week for the Packers to get healthy is going to make this Packers team tick. Now, here's my big question. Are the Zona Cardinals going to be able to stop the Packers' run game? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And if Arizona can stop that Packers' run game, then yeah, I think they cover. I just don't think they will. I just don't. And that Packers defense, I think they're going to keep getting better every week. Were they on the ropes a little bit against the Rams last week? Yes. Were we sweating our bat a ton on Patreon? Absolutely we were. It was brutal. It was excruciating. It was one of the most excruciating 4 o'clock windows I've had in some time. I got to be honest about it, Cal. I got to be honest. And I'm sure you're watching that, and I'm sure you're reacting to that stimuli. How can you not? But I just try to put the past week behind us, and I see another week of Jordan Love getting into verb and rhythm, and I'm going to go Jordan Love in this. And I'm just disappointed with Kyler Murray this year. I'm disappointed with his use of Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm disappointed when we have a Cardinals upset pick on week 1 and fucking Marvin Harrison on the last drive's wide open in the end zone. Wide open on the end zone against the Bills. He doesn't throw it. And then I look like the idiot because Kyler Murray won't throw it. And the play was protected, and that was his first read. Yeah, so Kyler's he's been a disappointment this year, man. Navi, any college fun games? There's one game I'm going hard on this week on Patreon, Navi. There's one game. Actually, 2 games. So not going to be a lot of bets this week, but there's 2 games. Not college fun type, but I'm going to go hard, man. I'm going to go hard. Ron Borkwin, 6-point teaser thought. Ravens minus half a point. Texans minus 1. Eagles minus 3.5. Broncos plus 9. Okay, Broncos plus 9 is great fundamentals. I mean, what is the over-under? 35.5. Can anyone tell me if that moved before the show started? Broncos, listen, a plus 9 teaser, even though I think the Chargers will play very good in that game, it is brilliant in a 35.5. Eagles minus 3.5. Ron, we don't like that hook. I don't like that hook, man. Texans minus 1, Ravens minus half a point. I like all of those. Like I said, I'm just a little bit cautious, Ron, about this Commanders game. And maybe, man, I've always been a person, I don't react to the media hype, to some of the stimuli that's put out there for me. But I got to be honest with you, Ron, and I want to ask you a question because I know you're in the chat. Am I the only one who thinks this Commanders offense is top 5 in the league right now? And you get a little bit nervous. And also, I need to phrase another question. We haven't heard much Lamar MVP talk. We haven't. I feel like Lamar's playing phenomenal this year. Am I the only one out there? That's where I'm at. I think that, yeah, man, I'm just worried about that one game. But it should have. Okay, Ace, Rely, Magic, Entertainment. What two-team money line or 6-point teaser do you like the most? I just hit the Niners money line and Kittle prop. Congratulations, my friend. Let me bring up the spreads because I do like that Chargers Bengals money line from earlier, that two-team. But in terms of teasers, let me think about a two-teamer real quick because I am curious about that. And I will have teaser information up on Saturday on Patreon. So I'm not going to sleep on you guys. Like I would tease the Falcons down, and that would be my first play. That's one thing that hasn't been talked about. I would tease the Falcons down. I get like the upset fundamentals of that. I would tease the Falcons down, and I would tease the Falcons down, and I would tease the Texans down. Or if you don't like the Texans, if you think that's dangerous, Ace, I would actually like tease like the fucking Commanders up to 12.5. I don't think that would be a bad play. Okay. And yeah, man. And if anyone knows about the SEO situation, just please hit me up on Instagram. I will pay you or pay whatever friends you have because it's crazy, man. Like the stress it's caused me the last like 17, 18 days is insane. And I don't know how to deal with it. Okay, here we go. Warren, I only played a very small amount on the Thursday night game, so I'm pretty good with myself. Took the under of 48.5. You're right on the money, though. Shouldn't have been betting the game. Let's get this money, my man. What's up, Warren? Yeah, it's just these Thursday night games, bro. These Thursday night games. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's like from a health and safety perspective, I want the NFL to stay like 1980s football, to be honest. But we know it's not going that way. But from a health and safety perspective, we should not be playing games on Thursday. Like if they put one on like Friday, like I might be able to vibe with it, but I like I'm the biggest NFL guy there is. Like I have the NFL to thank just for me to have a house over my bed and be able to have some comfort in life. But fuck, man, the Thursday night games. I don't know about you guys. Like I get up for them. Like I got up for last night's game, but sometimes like I don't even get up for them. And you could put a 2-7 Browns team against a 1-6 Broncos team, just using two random examples, and I'm up for any NFL game. It's just the Thursday night games, like how sloppy they are. Luckily, we didn't get too many flags last night. Quat! Does Drake May get blown out by Houston? I can't see Stroud losing to a rookie. I think Houston wins, but they don't blow him out. It's just a matter if Houston covers the spread. I'm just a little bit concerned. One thing I'm really concerned about with is, like I said, Houston's just not putting together a full 4 quarters, and I'm nervous about this Houston offensive line. Like, why aren't they gelling? Why aren't they? Why aren't they vibing? And that's one thing I don't know. Angelica Crawford, are we ready to be laying 9.5 with the Eagles? That's a great question, Angelica. That's the $1 million question. That's one thing that left me pacing in my house today, to be honest. Um, this Browns team is so bad, and the Eagles got the bye week at the exact right time, like the Chargers. I mean, normally you don't want these early bye weeks in the NFL season. Um, but yeah, man. But yeah, man. I if I had to pick it again, I would go Eagles, even with the 9.5. I think when I picked it on Tuesday, it was like +8, and I was a little bit cautious because we haven't seen that many big point spreads this year, and most of the big point spreads we see have been covered. So Yeah, man. I think Eagles. I think Eagles, and I'm not as low on this Eagles team as other people. So if you guys are like, were like kind of like my vibe, my vibe meter on the Eagles is probably like 7. Most of your guys, it seems like 5.5, 5. So for me, I kind of like it. I kind of think the Eagles can beat them by like 17 points. And we got to check the Browns injury report. I was looking at a lot of the injury news before the show. I didn't see much news on them. And if this offensive line's not getting healthy, then it's going to be a long day. Even though this isn't the Eagles' defensive line of like 3, 4, even 2 years ago, I still don't know if they can protect. And I don't know if this Browns defense is all that interested this year. And we're looking at Myles Garrett, and you gotta, if you're a Browns fan, if you're in the Browns organization, you have to ask the question: at what point do we shut Myles Garrett down? He's got a foot injury, he's got an Achilles injury, and he's an awful big man to be having a foot injury. He's still dominant. In the Raiders game, he was absolutely phenomenal. But at what point do you have to shut him down? And at what point is someone going to help him on that defense? Like, we're not even seeing a lot of Denzel Ward this year. What did he take? His fifth, sixth concussion? It's just this Browns defense has also been disappointing this year. Joe D'Souza, yo, Lawson, I'll PM you later. I was activated by FEMA and helping with hurricane reliefs. Good luck this week to everyone. I hope everyone's doing good, man. That hurricane was wild, man. That was wild. Absolutely wild, man. Yeah, absolutely wild. Yeah, hopefully everyone's doing good. I know we got a lot of people from Florida, so okay, let me make sure. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I mean, dude, Hurts, he just hasn't been at the top of his game. And Lauren and Mike, if you want to come on, let me know. We got through all the Patreon questions. Um, we might get some more. I got through them quick today. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Okay, so let's get to yeah. You don't like getting like listen. I don't like betting against Denver. Of course not. Like no one likes getting against Sean Payton. I mean, that's not something you want to do. Obviously not. That's not something I want to do, man. So we saw what happened to the Jets when that happened. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Lauren, I sent the invite. Yeah, my on my streaming tool, the chat's going a little bit slow. Okay, yeah, like let's look at what this Packer spread is. Let's look at what this Packer spread is. Okay, here we go. Let's see what this Packer spread's at right now. Okay, we're at like -5. Yeah. So Mike, you got my hopes up. I thought it was down to 4.5. Yeah, and like Dante, that's the thing with Zona. They're so inconsistent. They're so inconsistent, man. Um, Yo, Noah, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. Like I said, like I don't like to go on here for my problems, but like, yeah, man, I'm getting like blocked on Google, which is scary. That it's very scary. So yeah, man. So yeah. But on the Bengals, Matt, I kind of want to. Obviously, you don't like the hook, but I kind of want to. And I think this Giants I think this Giants team is dangerous. Like I said, like I think the Giants team is very dangerous, but there's a limit to it. There is a big limit to it. And you do wonder, is this Bengals defense going to have some sort of response? Is there going to be some sort of pulse? Um, yeah, no, Wilbur, you're right. Like the Sean Payton coaching is miraculous. Like when we talk about coaching, so like obviously you have your Andy Reeds in this league, and you have your Shanahans in this league. So those two are great. Although we're seeing lots of flaws with Kyle Shanahan this year. Although if you really look at it, the 49ers could have won every single game they lost, for instance. But maybe some of that's down to him. But also, so you got your Andy Reeds and Shanahan. But outside of that, we're looking at there's two coaching staffs I absolutely love. We got Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores, who are absolutely phenomenal. And then we got Sean Payton and Vance Joseph. Like, if you look at what Vance Joseph has to work with on defense, dude, there's nothing there. The cupboard's bare. Okay, you have Pat Surtain. I like one of their safeties, Locke. I feel like he's a very underrated player. He hits hard. He plays in an old school 70s style. But other than that, man, like there's not a lot there. And they're able to get pressure. They're pretty decent against the run, although I think the Chargers will exploit that. I think Dobbins will have a big game. And they're just consistent, and they outlast you and they out scheme you. So like those two coaching staffs have stood out to me, and I'm not just talking record wise. I just think both of those staffs are phenomenal. Danny Dimes Nichols, or you owe me. Well, Giants owe him a lot of money, Rake. A lot of money, Rake. Matrix, this is the home of the damn money pick. Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here with you guys on this Friday night. Drewski, Giants are making the playoffs. They're going to show you why this Sunday. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I think Daboll's a phenomenal offensive coach. Like one thing going into this year that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was when I looked at the betting markets for a first coach to be fired, and for some reason his name was at the top of the list. And like, you get it. It makes sense. Like, we kind of thought the Giants would struggle, even though that defense is the best defense they've had, since Antonio Pierce was there with Strahan. Like, this is a good defense, man. Outside of the secondary has a lot of weak spots. Like, you lose Xavier McKinney to the Packers. Like we see Xavier McKinney's impact with the Packers every single week. But yeah, man. So, and Lauren, I sent the invite. I don't know. Is Lauren even here anymore? I think she went. Okay. So, okay, let me see what I sent. Okay. Yeah, no neighbors. Like, and that was weird. Like, we saw neighbors at a Travis Scott concert, and I'm not one to like put my nose down and try to control people's personal life, but I did find that a bit odd. I don't think I found it like concerning, but I did find it a bit odd. Okay, Lauren's coming. So yeah. Only game I like is Steelers over Raiders. I like that as well. Happy Friday, go Padres. Yeah, baseball playoffs is heating up. I know you guys are into it. My dad's a Mets fan, so he's extra ready this year. He's surprised that he didn't think they would beat the Phillies. Okay, here we go. I am curious how far this Denver thing. I am curious how far this Denver thing can go, though, because I do think there's going to be like a little bit of an end point. I do. What was their win total going into the year? Because I know Sean Payton's going to get more respect. Like, I took the lowest of the low with the Patriots, 4.5. I should be good on that. I should, but you can't count anything in this league. especially when we're at week 16, 17. We can't count anything in this league when we're talking about that. Okay. Okay, Michael Mann. Michael Mann, I'll send the invite. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we haven't talked to Michael Mann in a while. Like, he wanted to come on so bad after the Panthers beat the Raiders, but he just couldn't. He couldn't. He was calling that too. What's up, Lauren? How you doing?
Hey guys.
Are you in the house today?
I am. Do you see our Halloween decorations?
You're ready early. That's
early. My husband had this bitch up in September.
Jesus.
You want to see our graveyard? We got a graveyard too. Hold on, let me show you.
Sure. Why not?
He'll be so excited. I'm showing you. We got a
graveyard. That looks awesome. That does look awesome. Do kids
he
come
takes
to the
a lot
house?
of pride in it. He's so good at this. He does all the decorating. He's got lights. If he were to throw these crazy lights on right now, you would see Halloween lights flying over here.
Lauren, does he like
really
football?
He will watch football with me, but he can't watch it all day.
Got you.
He can watch
that figures.
You know what I mean? Like, he watches. Yeah, like, he'll watch Aaron Rodgers play because he thinks he's all-time elite. He grew up like in the Patriots. So, but that era kind of, you know what I mean? So he'll watch the Saints, obviously, with me because, but he can't watch it all day. Like last week, my brother was visiting. Huh?
Oh, and I was just responding. Someone did ask if he likes football. And Matrix, I do like Travis Scott. But go on, Lauren.
So, like, last week, my brother was here visiting, and, we went hard all week, and he was like, and he's on the West, he lives on the West Coast. So here, we're 2 hours later. So I said, oh, well, at least you don't have to get up so early for the games tomorrow. And I told my brother on Sunday or on Saturday night when we were, going pretty hard Friday, Saturday night. And he was like, oh, that's right. I can get up at like 11. I said, no, I meant because London here is at 8:30, not 6:30.
Got you. All right, Lauren,
like,
let's get to football. Someone wants some money pick from you.
From me?
Yeah.
Here's what I kind of cooked up for you guys. Listen, I'm not ready to lay, I don't know how many it is with the Bengals. Is it 7? Or not 7, sorry, with Houston. Is it 7? Okay. Huh?
Yeah.
6.5. I'm not ready to do it. I can't do it. I can't. They haven't covered by that all year, not even at home. I'm not saying they can't blow them out. It could happen. I just don't trust that team laying that much on the road. Me personally, with past experience. Okay. So if I had to take that game, I'd have to go New England. And that's what I'm saying.
Is that your money pick?
No, my money pick is the Chargers.
Lauren, okay, give me some counsel. Am I overrating the Chargers here? Or do I think this is a parade? Okay, go on.
So Harborough eats rookie quarterbacks alive for lunch. He just historically has. This is like that buy low, sell high spot for Denver, in my opinion. They've had some cute upsets. Sean Payton's a genius. He is.
Hey, Lauren, sorry to cut you off. Your mic's choppy, so I'm gonna just take the invite again, and then I'll re-invite you. They say it's like lagging, but yes, just come in again. Thank you, guys. But yeah, curious to hear what Lauren has to say. SK, tell me about these CJ Stroud home away splits because I am curious about that because that is a very comfortable home stadium to play in. And you guys remember when they beat Indianapolis last year to get in the playoffs? It was in a dome. So let's see what it is. Okay, let's see if Lauren's mic. Okay, mic check.
Is this better?
It's still lagging for me. I don't know why it's lagging. Are you on Bluetooth headphones?
No.
Okay, let's try it now. Okay, let's see. Mic check.
Yeah, let me know if it is how it is. I can always relocate myself.
Yeah, try to relocate yourself and join again because it's
Okay.
still lagging. I'm bad about that.
Hold on. Let me just move over here. Tell me if this is, as I'm talking, tell me if it's getting any better.
You know, hurricanes in Florida and all that stuff. So
it's been rough here, you know? I mean,
gotcha.
Is that any better over here?
It's still lagging. I don't know why it's lagging. I thought it was like my internet because you know Brazilian.
Okay, let me go. I'm actually coming outside right now. Tell me how it is here.
Talk again.
Any better? Better out here?
It is getting better. Okay, let's go. All right, I think we're
all right. I'll sit on the outdoor patio.
Got you.
So, you know, my only concern is Herbert's ankle, which I think now he should be okay. Hopefully, they had their bye. So I'm feeling like he should be a lot healthier than he's been. And he's a warrior anyways. He's going to play no matter what, you know? And we see that with him. So Chargers is probably my money pick this week. Again, like I said, Harborough, he eats rookie quarterbacks for lunch.
Hey, Lauren, try one thing. Take out your headphones if possible.
I don't have headphones in.
Oh, got you. Yeah, it's still lagging. I don't know what it is, man.
Do you want me to put my Bluetooth in?
Yeah, try your Bluetooth, and then just enter again when you get your Bluetooth. My bad.
Okay. All right, be right back.
Got you. Yeah, I'm putting Lauren through the ringer tonight. So yeah, like I thought Lauren had headphones on. I swear to God, I thought she had headphones. I don't know why. Maybe it's the hoodie. You guys remember when you guys were in high school? And you know, my high school banned headphones, and I was obsessed with headphones in high school. And then you would put the headphones like down, like run them through your shirt, and then like have them like kind of hidden, and you put the hoodie on, and they wouldn't let you put the hood on anymore. Then you just had to kind of like put it down here, and I grew my hair long so I could use the headphones. Okay, so. Okay. Yeah, Stroud's EPA. Okay. I get that stat. So, okay, let's see.
Okay, you guys are loud as hell now on me. Is this better?
It is. Let's just roll with it. We lost like 30 viewers with the confusion. Let's just roll with it.
Is it any better though?
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, but let's just roll with it.
Okay. So, I left my paper outside, of course. So yes, I'm fully on the Chargers this week. I think that they have, you know, they're a better team. They're just a better team all around. And again, I'm going to say this again. You heard me. You know, Harborough, I think he's going to have a great plan for this Denver somewhat offense, you know, that got explosive last week for the first time ever. And let's really think about the game that maybe Denver and Sean Payton is looking ahead to. The Saints game on Thursday night where Sean Payton goes back to New Orleans for the first time. That is probably the game that is going to be that they circled, you know, on their calendars at the beginning of the season. So in this spot, not saying it's not important because it's a divisional game. I just think a healthy Chargers team with Bosa coming back, um, and that new rookie wide receiver is really playing good. Really playing good. Um, the running backs are doing well. So I feel like um, I feel like the Chargers is probably my favorite play. I also, oh God, I mean, it kind of pains me to say. I get a little nervous. I get a little nervous with Green Bay leading 5.5. Um, but I can see a recipe for it to happen.
And Lauren, can I say
But I,
something? It's funny now. Your mic's better than ever, and I think it might have been the StreamYard using echo cancellation and shit on your as like customs as like just default settings. So we'll remember that next
okay.
time. And I just want to say one thing about the Broncos game before we get to that one. Did you notice that? Like, am I crazy or were the Raiders like giving about to like kind of not boat race them, but they were ready to go like 17-0 on them. And then that place just completely shifted the game and the Raiders melted down. Like I think that needs to be said, and that's what makes me feel confident going into this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's a big factor, right? It's a big factor. Um, there's definitely it's definitely going to be probably a 50-50 that side. You know what I'm
It should
saying?
be. I'll look that up when you talk. Go on.
I feel like it's going to be like a 50-50 side. Like some people are going to um, I feel like it's going to be a 50-50 bet side. Some people are going to be riding this Denver train, for weeks because they're doing great. They've done good things the last few weeks. But there's also a time when you have to know when to go against them. So
That
that's
is
my
true.
opinion.
And let me look at the betting splits. Um, let me look at the betting splits. So okay, let's get to because okay, let's get to spread.
And
Sorry
I
about
might have to bet the Patriots. I
that.
might have to. I might have to do it. I'm this Drake May could bring a whole new life to this team. Um, Houston's not right. Can we just all agree that Houston is not right?
They don't look
um,
good, Lauren. They do, like I said, like they're putting C- performances out every week. Like I'm the biggest Houston guy there is, but I can't lie. Like they're bad performances, man.
do you know that an early down success rate, they're 31st?
Well, that's what's so puzzling because their
And do you
offensive
know
line
who
is better,
the only team they're ahead of is the Browns?
which is crazy because the Browns have like the worst offensive line in the league now, and Nick Chubb's out, and then we saw the Texans be able to run it last year when they had more offensive line injuries than everyone, and now like I actually like their offensive line, and plus the penalties too. Whenever they get a good run on first down, they get a penalty, and they're
Oh, a
legit
flag is
penalties,
thrown.
Lauren.
They're 75 flags a game. Just flag, 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 flag.
It's
And so that's a lot of points to be laying on the road for a team that's playing subpar.
It is. It is. It's troublesome. Like I'm worried about it.
So if I can get the Patriots at 7, I mean, I almost feel like I have to. Not because I think it's the right way to go, it's because I think I have to do it.
You think it's the
Stroud is
market play?
yeah, like Stroud is 2-7 as a favorite of 3 or more. Like I don't it doesn't sit well with me. Um I mean, New England's got nothing to lose. Let's be honest. They don't, right? They want to spark some fire in their team with Drake May. They want to maybe play some spoiler against some other teams. They really have nothing to lose. So by throwing Drake in right now, they're obviously proving a point. like they're saying that they're not giving up on the year. So they got nothing to lose. And they're gonna play hard for this game. So that Colt kid is playing well. Um yeah, I mean I just Nico being gone is a big problem, I think too.
Gotcha. Michael, man, we're getting some feedback on your phone. First, I don't.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's up, Mike?
Oh, not much, having a night so far. But what about you guys?
Yeah, I'm
Hey
doing
Mike.
good, Mike. I'm doing
Good to hear
good.
it. No, I'm with Lauren on this Patriots potential, not just to cover, but on a potential upset here. Houston is perfectly capable of crapping the bell on the road. We've seen it before, and New England is not the easiest place to play. And I think Nico Collins going down, that is a bigger blow than people are making it out to be, especially when you consider that Christian Gonzalez is going to take out Stephon Diggs. So you tell me that Collins is out and Diggs is going to be limited. You're putting a lot of pressure on Stroud to throw to these secondary third guys. And we've seen him in the past struggle when he's forced to do that. So that's my take on the game.
Makes sense.
And I think they also have more momentum going into the game. If nothing else, I would highly encourage people not to bet on the -7 for Houston, because I'm sure that's a popular bet this week.
It's It's one of the most popular.
If you
Yeah.
want to take the money line or something, maybe like that might, if you really feel like Houston is, the team, depending on the number, I don't know if you want to throw them into a teaser or something like that, but I'm not comfortable laying 7. They haven't covered 7 all year.
Well, here's what
I,
I'm talking about. Here's why I agree with Michael Mann's opinion. It's well, I don't think the Patriots will win the game, obviously, but I am worried about Nico Collins being out because we haven't seen a lot of Tank Dell this year. So
mm-mm.
maybe we see Tank Dell come through. So, and Mike, I'll just mute your mic when you're not talking. So I'll push it to you. Like, let's talk about Carolina Falcons. Are you seeing some sort of upset in play here?
You know what? My only hope for the game is just knowing how stupid this rivalry has been in the past. Like we've talked about it before, Panthers Falcons is probably the weirdest rivalry in our division. Like that, I swear to God, the team that should win never does. Like that is the motto for Panthers Falcons games. Like every time, we can be 14-0 going into Atlanta, and then we'll find a way to lose. Same thing last year. Panthers are 1-12. Falcons are literally fighting for the playoffs. They come into Carolina and lay an egg. So, I mean, this is shit like that happens at least once a year. So I would not put it past the Falcons to lay an egg here. That being said, the reason I don't think you should bet it, the Panthers have more defensive talents on injured reserve right now than they do on the 53-man roster. So that's a problem. I definitely like the over for this game. I could see a world where the Panthers win, but I'm not running it to the bank or anything. I wouldn't put on a parlay.
Well, that's what I'm worried about, Mike. I'm worried about them just running the ball down your throat like Chicago did last week. And I got to ask you a question, Mike, in relation to this Jags Bears game, because I'm fully off this Jags Bears game. I was actually thinking about betting the Jags. I'm fully off of it, and I actually don't want the stress of having money in play, like waking up at 9:30. Um, but anyways, Mike, was Caleb Williams even any better, or was it just because they ran the ball down the throat? Like I watched the 40-minute version of the game,
You
and
know what? Here's what I'll say. So, I thought he was far more accurate than he had been in previous games. But at the same time, and I'm not kidding you, the Panthers were giving him 3.7 seconds to throw every time. They absolutely could not get to him. So he was sitting as perfect as can be. It was a very easy day for a quarterback, going against that Panthers front seven. So I mean, he was better. It was by far his best game as a pro, I would say. But it's not like he was facing the best of competition.
yeah, I agree, man. I just wanted to put that out there. So,
Am I
um,
reading this right? Are the Saints getting 3.5 at home?
yeah, Lauren, I wanted to talk about this. I wanted your opinion on this. because I started off the show, and I'm not trying to fall for FUD and stimuli, but damn, I'm kind of excited about Spencer Rattler winning the job, like because I actually think he had to win it, which is encouraging, given his background, where like he's a little bit like spoon fed. I don't know if you guys watched that Netflix documentary. Watch that documentary, Lauren. Go watch that tonight with your husband. See what he thinks about him. But anyways, I'm kind of excited about this. I don't know, man. Like, I think the unders to play in the game, but I kind of think the Saints are going to be functioning on offense. I don't know why. I just think they will.
Well, he had to win that job. So against, oh my God, what's his name? The guy we brought in last week.
Oh, who
Um,
cares? Yeah, like
whatever.
this. It's like
Anyways,
an NPC. Like
yeah,
it's like an XFL
yeah.
player. It's just
Now, obviously, it would be a lot better if Taysom was healthy because he's a goal line beast. We call him in fantasy the goal line thief. The Alvin Kamara touchdown thief, we call him. But Taysom's not playing. He's out. So Rattler had to win the game, win the job. It's interesting because, this is going to be his first start at home as an underdog, which rightfully should be. But I think the Saints defense should disrupt Baker enough to keep the Tampa scoring down. And, you're going to have Lattimore on Evans. That's always a fight and whatever. And who knows if the two of them even get to stay in the game after they start brawling. You know what I mean? So but we can
Bi-
start with that.
bi-
Huh?
biannual thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
The usual. The usual.
I would much rather watch that than what the Panthers are going to do against the Falcons.
Yeah. Yeah. They're both
really.
playing. It's a big weekend for
Yeah.
South. The NFC South. They're both playing. The two teams are playing each other. So a lot's going to make it. And that's what I'm saying. So you have the coaches had to look at this. Like both teams are playing divisional games. The NFC South is all playing each other. This is a big weekend. So they had to make proper decisions in who they put in here. Now, is Andy Dalton still starting for you guys, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, okay. So I think that Rattler could add a little bit of spark. I think the plus 3.5 at home. I mean, I don't know that Carr is worth 6 points. It was the Saints, what, minus 2.5 when it came
That's a
out
big
before
flip. You're right. You're right, Lauren. That's a huge flip. I didn't even pay
before
attention.
yeah, before Carr got hurt, it was minus 2.5. I don't think Carr is worth 6 points. I just don't.
Uh, like
So
like you said too. Like I think this is where the Saints defense makes a stand. Like I don't
yes.
know. So I have Saints to win and cover. I don't know. I'm not confident in it. I have no idea who's going to win this game. But the one thing I can say, and this is kind of leading back to Lawson's point, this game is going to be disgusting. Like this is the final score of this game is going to be like 9-7 or something like that. This is going to be a gross game.
But
I
here's the
don't
thing. If we
like.
think it's going to go under, right, wouldn't we take the points?
No, I would, and I think Dennis Allen is really. I think he can mess up that Bucks offense. And keep in mind too, like Carolina and Tampa Bay like have a very similar scheme because they come. I mean, it's ultimately the same coaching tree. So you got to
Yeah.
think like what you
Yeah.
guys did against the Panthers. Like Dennis Allen was running circles around us, and even like I remember when he came in, that was a concern that Panthers fans had was how much you guys outcoached him in the second game last year. So I mean,
And
schematically, I have the advantage.
and let's be honest with you. With the first two games where the Saints scored 40 something points each game, did Derek Carr really do a lot?
He had some deep passes.
He
I
had
didn't
some
think
deep passes.
I didn't think he was all that against the Panthers.
Did he do a whole lot though, or was a lot of it Kamara against Dallas?
A lot of it
And
was play design too, like you said,
yeah,
play at
so
Kamara and then play action, right? Like that was my
right.
take from it. I took a lot of criticism from it. People didn't like it, but That's what I
Right.
thought.
So I don't think Carr is worth 6 points. I think you can put Spencer Rattler in there, who's a lot more mobile than Derek Carr. Okay, I'm not dogging on Derek Carr, but I'm saying where we can put Spencer Rattler in there, and he's young, he's a rookie. Let's not take that away and think he's going to be Justin Herbert when he played his first game. But I think that you can, like when we had to bring in Teddy Bridgewater, and we had to bring in Jameis, and we had to bring in Trevor Simeon, and we had to bring in God
Yeah.
knows who else. We beat Tampa with all of them, and they had
Did
Brady.
you guys beat them 9 against Brady that one time?
Yeah,
I
right,
think you had Taysom
twice.
Hill. Like Taysom Hill
So
was
I
making
don't.
as a starter,
Yeah,
and
I
y'all.
don't. Yeah, I don't see how we can't have a play design for Rattler in this to where the 6 point swing, you're going to give the Saints 3.5 points at home now in the dome
Yeah,
when no, and again, I don't like betting my own team, but I'll take it.
I think it's a good bet too. Like I said, I'm not targeting a lot of spreads this week. I'm going for over unders and prop bets. And I thought Lawson, off tangent here, but I thought making a prop bet video was a great addition to the channel because that's what
Hey,
I've been doing more than anything else,
they're fun, man. They're fun, and they've been slamming on Patreon. Like
dude. And they're easy. Like that Vegas is a step behind us, I think, on those.
they're not. They're
Like,
not adjusting.
yeah, like Chuba Hubbard,
They
like you were
haven't
talking
yet.
Chuba Hubbard, for instance,
Oh,
since Andy Dalton came in, Chuba Hubbard has been like one of the most underrated running backs in the NFL. He has
I
had
love I love his over this week. I
yeah,
love it.
he's literally like his last 3 games, he has had 100 yards, and then he had 97 yards last week because the Panthers were stupid and didn't give him the ball enough. But he's going well over
I
that.
love his over. I love
Yeah,
his over this week. He's been great since Dalton has been there. I'm so glad I picked him up off the waiver wire in my league.
yeah,
But
I do that.
I'll tell you, you know what I'm saying. I'll tell you the last thing that I'm kind of on, and I don't know. I made um, the Chargers my best bet, but I almost am scared to. I think 3 is just not enough. So yeah, I will take it as my best. I also like the Lions -3. And you guys want to talk about this Baltimore and Washington shit for a second?
Yeah,
This
and Mike,
Washington club.
can we just get Mike's opinion on the Lions? I was curious because I haven't talked to him this much this week.
Uh,
Just the game.
Yeah, it's just general, man.
I think Lions win and cover.
I
Like,
don't
and I
think
don't.
we need to
I agree.
overthink it, but I
Yeah,
get why people are.
and Dallas has
I
played like
agree.
shit the last 2 weeks. Like these are not banner performances they're putting up. It's not like last year where they were
No,
just dominating everybody.
and they're still missing their defensive studs.
Yeah, they're still
So
beat up themselves. So give me the Lions all day.
Yeah.
is
Okay. So
it,
let's. So what was the game you wanted to talk about, Lauren? My bad.
Washington and Baltimore.
Yeah.
So it almost seems just too easy to take Washington
That's what I
because of
was
how good they
saying.
are.
Wasn't
Do we
it?
not remember last year, or was it the year before? It might have been last year, when Detroit was a 6 point underdog in Baltimore, and Detroit had lost one game all year. And they went in as a 6 point underdog. 96% of the people were on Detroit with the 6 points, and they got their asses blown out by Baltimore. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's the same situation. I'm just saying it's the same possibility. However, Baltimore's defense didn't show me shit last week when Joe Burrow threw for 5 touchdowns. So when you got this mobile kid, this kid is special. This kid is special. So for me, I don't even want a dog in the fight. I want to watch the game and just see what happens.
That's where I'm at. I also though, like, if I wanted to play this game, I would just go Washington on the alternative line. Like, I'd bring it to like Washington -3 because, like you said, like, firstly, like, I don't know if the market has adjusted to the Commanders yet,
So
and I
how
don't
good
want
and
to.
how good he is.
I don't
And
want to get
let's be honest, their
overblown.
defense sucks. Their defense sucks. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So whatever the number is, I mean, might as well just go over.
Their pass rush is looking better though.
It's
But
got the
yeah,
last 2 weeks, yeah. But I mean, Burrows just threw for 5 touchdowns on Baltimore, and you know what I mean. So I don't see how Washington's offense. Eckler's healthy. I think the Brian Robinson kid is going to be back like he was last week. He came in for a little bit. You know what I mean? So I had San Fran last night -2.5, and I had the over 45 or 48, whatever it was. I also had Brock Purdy for over 265 yards. I got that one. The only ones I missed were Mason, and he was on track to hit it until he got pulled out of the damn game. And I missed Brandon Ayuk. He got like half the yards. So, but here's one thing that I did not hear when you released the video, John, was you didn't put the Philadelphia Eagles and Cleveland game on it.
yeah, I missed it. I skipped over it.
Because that game to me is heavily intriguing. And
Really?
the reason why do we not think Cleveland it's time for Jameis at some point?
Well, I agree, but like they're not going to play him.
They're
And
just
this
not, right?
Owner's
And if they were going to
decision.
play him, wouldn't they have played him last week?
no, yeah, they should have. I mean, they should have been starting him since like week
4
2.
weeks ago.
Yeah, but like I mean, yeah, like we're all trust me,
Like,
we're all ready for the return of Jameis. But like my thing here is like you have the Browns who are just totally incompetent at everything and seem completely dead in the water, and then you have the Eagles on the other side, and I feel like they shouldn't be laying 8.5 to anybody. So it's like
well, maybe to a team that can't score.
right, but I mean it's the Eagles though. Like, did you? I mean, look what they did against Tampa. Like, my point is, they definitely have a bench
Tampa
hit,
scores.
and I think like this is a game I want no pardon. I mean, maybe you want to go bet the Eagles, but you could tell me anything could happen in this game. I would not be surprised.
If I were to bet it, I would take the Eagles because Cleveland cannot score. They can't score.
I mean, I think Jalen Hurts is a turnover waiting to happen right now, and their offense isn't looking good either.
At least they're scoring.
I mean, yeah, but like not. It's not. They're not looking good. I mean,
Lauren,
I
the
would
game
take the
against the
Browns.
Saints was
Cleveland
scary.
has Cleveland gotten out of the teens for scoring all year? They've been in the teens.
Yeah, one
I'll have
time
to
I
check.
think, but that's about where they are. They can't block
Okay,
anyone.
Yeah.
right. So you mean to tell me Saquon Barkley's not going to run all over the place? At least go in for 2 or 3 himself.
I mean, I agree with. I mean, Lauren, you watched that Eagles Saints game. Like this Eagles team, just ever since like the midway point of last year, they find ways to keep teams in games, and that's why I'm saying like they should not
Yes,
be.
but the Saints are better than Cleveland. The Saints
Well,
have
I
a,
agree
you know
with
what I'm
that,
saying?
but that's not my point. Like my point is the Eagles are not playing good football right now. They're making self-inflicted
Right.
mistakes.
So their mediocre football though is well above the Cleveland's bottom of the barrel. Might as well be St. Mary's football team instead of the Cleveland Browns.
And I agree with you, but is that worth? Do you think the Eagles will win by 9? Like, is that worth betting on an eight and a
Yes.
half point? Okay.
Why is it 9?
Why is it 9?
Why is it 9?
It's going
I
up
mean,
by the second.
Browns.
It's 9.5. Like it just keeps going up. So
You mean
Yeah,
to
I
tell me
mean,
they can't win by a touchdown and a field goal against a team that's as anemic as Cleveland?
right.
but no one's covering this year with those big
Yeah,
spreads.
that's what I'm saying
Right.
too. Like,
So yes, the underdogs are 16-2-1 ATS on spreads of 6 or more. 16-2-1. I know that stat. I don't give a shit. Okay? Like I don't this Cleveland team is terrible. Dallas put up 38 something points on them.
Yeah, no, I just think
And they have one wide receiver.
Someone was asking about the Browns defense. Here's my take on the Browns defense. They're making a lot of mistakes, man.
Not what they used to be.
They're making a lot of mistakes, and they made mistakes last year, but they still were able to force those turnovers.
Wait a second. Listen, and why are they not what they used to be? They're effing tired. They're on the field.
They
They're
also
on
had
the field
they also
80% of the time.
They also had like more rain games than any team I've ever seen last year, and that also helped bring a lot of their unders down last year. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but they played in the rain like every week, and it pissed me off.
Well,
these guys are tired.
But they're not even playing good at home anymore on defense.
Yeah.
No, and I'm telling you, these guys are exhausted. Look at them. Look at them by the time the fourth quarter starts. This team is gassed. They've been on the field the whole damn time, no matter who they're playing. So no, do I want to lay 9 or 8 or 10 or whatever? Not really. But do I want to fall into that trap of taking 8 points because it's 8, 9 points. Ooh, I'm getting 2 scores. And then all of a sudden they lose by 20 because they can't score. I don't even want to put them at either.
I'm just saying there's other, there are other, I'm willing to live to fight another day than bet on this game.
Yes. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Lauren, you were sounding like you were ready to just ski the car out of your porch and go put like $2,000 on the Eagles. Like that's what my interpretation was.
If I were to bet the game, that's what I'm doing.
It's a good thing. If I were still in Pensacola, I don't know if I would still longer be with us.
That's true.
Like, Lauren.
Listen, guys, I'm not saying that I'm not betting the Eagles. I haven't made like my firm. I bet like 3 or 4 games, you know what I'm saying, each week or whatever. But they're definitely on my top list. They're on my radar. Like the reason this number is this number, it's there for a reason. Let's not get carried away. Let's not think Eagles all of a sudden are all on steroids by the time Sunday comes and they start becoming, the 85 Bears. They're just not.
And I will say to keep it real, the Eagles are also getting like their actual good receivers back. So it's not like
AJ Brown coming back, and Devonta Smith is coming back.
So they have that.
And you got Barkley.
Yeah.
You got Barkley. So you mean to tell me they can't win, what, 27-17?
I mean,
Justin Case says, Lauren, you definitely sounded like you were college fun betting that game.
Yeah.
Because I'm so sick of these people wanting to take the 8 points or 9 points because, oh my God, it's 2 scores. So I got to go jump all over it because I'm getting all these free points. Like, you can't just think that. Yes, I know the underdogs are 16-2-1 this week this year on points that are 6 or more. I know that, but it's not going to happen to every game. And quite frankly, I wouldn't touch Cleveland with your money the rest of the year. I don't care who they're playing. They're terrible. Until they make an adjustment at quarterback or something, I'm not touching them because what they got going on right now is absolute garbage.
Yeah, which they shouldn't be bet on until they change Deshaun Watson. Until I get Deshaun Watson out of there. I don't know why he's still in the league.
Yeah, and
they got to pay him.
Did you guys see like the rumors like, Deshaun Watson, if he wants to be traded, he has to do this and this. Like, who's going to trade for him?
Who wants him?
Yeah, they were saying
nobody wants him.
It's just ridiculous. Like
nobody's going to take on that debt.
I saw a pretty conspiracy. I can't say it on the stream, but like I have a good theory that I saw that I want to talk to you about after this is over, Lawson.
Yeah, send me a message on Instagram.
Are you on Cleveland? Are you guys both on Cleveland with these points?
We got to say this. I got to read this. Don't panic. Yo, Lauren had me hype as fuck at the start. Was going to grab the wife's ring and double it. Lauren, you did have me hype, but no, you're right about the Browns. And then, like, the last thing I want to say, we should get to a different game. I don't think anyone. It was funny though. Just the last thing I want to say, I want to just reiterate my point about Myles Garrett. Like Achilles, foot injury. How long do they keep him going for a lost cause? Like this is borderline lost cause. I get Michael Mann's caution though, because this is kind of like a must-win game for them.
Mm.
But it's kind of over anyways. But
Yeah. Tell me your thoughts on Washington. Are you on the six? I mean, I can see why if you are, and I can see why if you aren't.
let's hear Michael Mann's take because I'm honestly curious what he thinks. Like if he thinks
I'm on the 6, but like I think I see your point though about why you want to bet Baltimore. I will say like their defense is yet to convince me that they're anything yet. Like they have not shown, other than that Bills game where the Bills just didn't have anyone to throw to, they have not stopped anybody. And I also think that Washington is the kind of team that can like actually get a lead early and put up some points in the first half. So if you're telling me I got 6 points to cover with Washington, I'll take it.
Anyways, yeah, Lauren's on one tonight. Lauren is high energy tonight.
Because I'm just like, I've talked to so many people, and they're like, they send me messages on Insta, and, oh my God, I'm getting 9 points with Cleveland. Yeah, great. Don't cash that check yet. Like, I'm like, can't you find something better? You know what I mean? You want a team that's got a lot of points? Go take Washington. At least you got a better chance. You know what I'm saying? Or take New England at home with 7 points against Houston, who can't cover that much. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't take this anemic Cleveland team that to me doesn't even like each other right now. Like they're letting Deshaun get toppled over. They're not even trying to save him. Like
Dewan
when he's
Wade's not getting out of his stance at right tackle. Like,
no. Right. Am I the only one noticing this? Like they're literally letting his ass get crushed.
Who would want to block for Deshaun Watson though?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're gonna give the team 9 points? Big shit. Like, no, I'm not falling for that bullshit. I'm not falling for that
Mike,
shit.
what's your take on the Commanders, man? Like overall, do you think this is an admiration, or do you think listen, I get why Vegas is doing it. They're making their stand here, but it does. I felt like it would have been like 4.5.
You want my thoughts? I think Washington is the best team in the NFC East, and I think they will have that division clinched long before the last week of the season. I mean, first off, I don't think Philly and Dallas are what they used to be, and both of those two teams, like until they get out of their own way, I'm not going to pick them to beat Washington the way they're playing right now. Now, whether or not Washington can keep this up for 12 more weeks, that's a question mark I have. I'm sure you guys will remember Cliff Kingsbury of Arizona fell apart multiple times to end the year. So that is a concern. But like the way they're looking right now, I mean, I'll take them to win the NFC East every time.
I agree.
I think it's a reality that a lot of football fans are kind of slow to accept. But like, there's no question about it. Like they're the team to beat in that division right now.
Because I mean, and at least if you're betting them, like Lauren said, at least they'll be able to get a first down.
Right.
Right.
And if they get down 2 scores, like they can at least manufacture a garbage touchdown.
Right.
And their defense is getting better. Yeah. They are getting better.
The pass rush.
Or a team that can get past the 50-yard line. Let's start there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm getting I know I'm like literally popping a blood vessel right now, but like people wanting to take this, please. Now listen, is there a recipe for them to cover? Sure. Anybody can lay an egg at any time. Yeah. But honestly, are you going to go take this game because they're giving you 9 points just because it's 9 points? No, they're giving you 9 points because the team is dog shit. They're trash.
Okay, I first off, you had to have shotgunned a whole ass energy drink before you came on today. Like, my God. Secondly, I just want to say, like, this has nothing to do And me liking the 9.5 more has nothing to do with me thinking the Browns are any good. This is just about me knowing what the Eagles are capable of pulling, like in the shit they've done in the past. So that's why I'm on it. That's why I'm kind of siding with the 9.5ers. Like, I mean, like
Yeah,
you
you
said,
play that bet.
no
Make
game.
sure you win a lot of money on that.
I'm not betting any money on that. I'll bet.
Make sure.
I would bet the Panthers before betting this game. Like that's how
Me too.
bad.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, which that's saying something.
I agree. On the Monday night game, before we get out of here,
Oh God, that good.
Who is
Good.
it? Oh, the Bills and the Jets.
Yeah, that's.
yeah,
Oh my
Oh.
gosh. So here's my thing. I have Bills to win and cover, and I kind of
I
get
ain't got-
Lawson. I
I'm
respect
having
your.
hot flashes.
I get your whole like new coach bounce theory, but like I don't think the new coach bounce theory really applies here because I don't think that locker room hated Salah. Like the new
I don't
coach
either.
bounce theory. Yeah, that only works when like the entire team hates the fucking coach and is ready to get rid of him.
like Josh McDaniel.
Yeah, like Josh McDaniels or Matt Rule. Like this isn't. I don't think Robert Saleh was in that situation.
It always goes back to Matt Rule. And everything starts and ends with Matt Rule
How's he
when we
doing
have
in
to talk about
Nebraska, by the
coaches.
way?
That man put. That man took 10 years off my life.
How is he
I
doing
saw.
in Nebraska?
Oh, I checked it, dude. I see a quote from him every once in a while at Nebraska. Oh my gosh, he has not changed at all.
Well,
Like it,
yeah. Anyways, yeah. So
if you're a
Lauren,
Panthers fan and you live in Nebraska, like my deepest condolences. Like I'm sorry.
Gotcha. I don't know how many Panthers fans there are in Nebraska.
Hey, you're lucky to find us anywhere at this point.
And Lauren, yeah, I kind of think your opinion. Yeah, I shouldn't bet it. I don't want to dive into it. I
Why?
don't.
Were you thinking about it? Like, were you gonna take the?
I'm very tempted to take the Jets because, man, I didn't get in. I predicted
Oh,
this
I thought you were
Bills.
talking about Cleveland. I thought you were saying you were gonna take Cleveland's
We're still talking
points.
about Cleveland.
No. But here's the
Oh, I
thing,
thought you.
Lauren. Here's why I have to sit out of it. It's because I kind of like predicted this Bills thing going into the year. Like I looked really bad the first 3 weeks, but there's not enough receivers there. There's not enough pieces on defense. Matt Milano's out. You can run it on him. I know the Jets
Yeah.
run blocking hasn't came together, and I don't know why. That's the one thing that worries me. But if they're able to run it just a little bit, they got Nathaniel Hackett out of there from calling plays. But you do worry about that. And I wonder, like, I do wonder what Mike said. Like, I don't think anyone hated Salah. I don't. But I do think Rodgers turned against him because, like, man, Salah's like really dumb in the media. Like, let's be honest about it. Like,
It,
Yeah.
he
I
made
think just
Rodgers.
listen. This is Rogers makes the rules around there. Let's not get. You know what I mean?
I
Let's not
can't wait,
be.
dude. I cannot wait to see that. I need an ESPN 30 for 30 on the Robert Saleh firing. Like I would love to watch that documentary, man. Like I need ESPN and Jeremy Schaap to get to the bottom of this because something happened in that locker room, man. That you already know something went down, and I would love to see
They
it.
were
When you're telling me,
literally they, and he
when you're
had no
telling me a head
idea. They were
coach,
on the plane the way back. They were on the plane on the way back from London, and he had no clue.
when you're
No
telling
clue.
when you're telling me you're a head coach and you have to be escorted out by security, like I need that documentary, man. So please NFL, please ESPN, give us that.
Somebody publish it. Somebody publish it. Let's
Well, and
go.
guys, if you look at the situation, like I get it, like that. Listen, they didn't even play that bad against the Vikings. Vikings have been boat racing every good team they're against, and they look better against Sam Darnold than any other team in the league. I felt like the Jets got hosed by, as a Vikings fan, I felt like the Jets got hosed by a lot of bad pass interference calls in that game. But secondly, you look at the situation, guys. They're like 2-3. Everyone in that division is looking pretty ragged right now. And I don't know if this Bills situation is going to get better unless they trade for a wide receiver at least. It just doesn't seem like they're going to do that.
Here comes Devontae Adams.
And can I say something? Is it just me? Am I the only one who's not even sure if Josh Allen doesn't have a concussion? Like, did anyone see that?
Mike, they wouldn't let anyone else get away with that. They would let like Pat, Josh, their stars. They would not let anyone else get away with that. If we were holding a ticket, let's just put random team. Let's say we're holding like a Kirk Cousins ticket, and we're about to cover Kirk. Come on, man! Like any other quarterback outside of like these elite like five, they would have took him out of it.
Dude, if that were Tua, they would have kept him out for the year.
Yeah, no, and I don't know if they're going to let Tua play. I think he's ready to come
I don't know
back.
that. I don't know that Tua is like that. I don't know that they aren't already keeping him out.
Yeah. And honestly, as a football fan, I changed my opinion. Like you guys remember my opinion on Tua. He should be able to come back if he wants. Honestly, as a football fan, like Lauren, you guys remember when that summer when they didn't have much like name controversy for the Washington team to talk about. Like remember like in the offseason, we would always get the Washington name controversy. And then there was a new controversy they added, which was like the concussion movie. Then the next summer we got the Will Smith movie playing the Nigerian. And like honestly, man, like I don't want Tua because he's a liability because they will kill this game. Like they will kill it. Like people will watch like flag football and will watch it watered down too. Like I know they will.
It'll turn into a big problem if that man gets something happens to him.
Yeah, and I get it. It sucks for Tua, but like I mean, okay, God forbid this happens. I don't want to bring this up, but like let's say the DeMar Hamlin situation when that injury happened. Let's say that goes wrong. Let's say Tua gets knocked out again, and it's worse than the last couple. How is the NFL? How is the media going to react to that? Like we're gonna lose football.
Yeah, no, and a lot of the media has a hard on for the NFL as it is. Like they don't like the NFL. They don't like football. Like they're like ashamed by football. Like for some reason, like nothing to be ashamed about. Like honestly, Mike, I'll say this, Lauren. I don't know if you agree with me. Maybe your dad, who's an ex-umpire, when he watches some of these young relief pitchers, I still think we're more likely to see a baseball player die on the field than an NFL player with how these relief pitchers can't control their fastballs. But man, if Tua gets out there, my odds are on the NFL player dying on the field.
Listen, there's a lot of people that can get injured in sports, and baseball has a double-edged sword. You have a guy throwing a ball at you over 100 miles an hour, and if you miss it, it could hit the catcher, it could hit the umpire. My dad he'll tell you a story. He did an interview where in the minor leagues, it was the worst he'd ever seen. A guy's bat cracked, broke off, and a piece of the bat stuck in the umpire's neck. It flew off, and the guy took it out and continued the game, which my dad thought he was nuts. But I mean, yeah. So wherever you go, you're heavily padded in football. You're not padded in baseball. You definitely have headgear. But what about when the line drive comes right back at your face?
Yeah, and
on the pitch,
let's look at another sport. Look at boxing. Like boxing used to be like the shit until like
you're allowed to beat each other up there. Hockey, right? You guys are allowed to fight. They're allowed to fight.
Right, but my point is like, and I think part of it is that the content, like the performance of boxing has gone down, and like the entertainment level and all that. But at the same time, like people are starting to see like these boxers are getting long-term damages like after they end fighting. Like Muhammad Ali, Parkinson's disease. Joe Frazier was never right. Toward the latter part of his life. George Foreman looks great. Meldrick Taylor's another one who seemingly never recovered from some of the hits he took. Like,
Meldrick Taylor's bad, man. Like, and I think like I don't like I don't like correlation without causation. But yeah, like you look at someone like Meldrick Taylor, like bro. That's not like them linking ALS to Steve Gleason. Like,
and they let him fight for so long when it was clear he had issues. They let him fight forever.
Yeah, man. Like, no, and Dave, I agree I agree, Dave. Like you can watch baseball for 100 games and not see the shit in like one quarter of the NFL. But I'm serious, man, about these relief pitchers. They do not have control of the ball. They do not like, and they don't like. Just look at the walk stats. Like they don't have control of the ball. You hit someone in the temple, they're done. And like there was one year I was watching the Mets like 3 years ago. Mets had like fucking like 70 hit batters by the time the season ended. Like that's wild, man. I'd rather get slammed by fucking Ed Reed over the middle than get hit by a baseball. But that's just
I'm with you. I would
Yeah,
take
no,
a hit every.
I'm trying not to get hit by a 90 mile an hour fastball.
Yeah,
No,
not
not
today,
at all.
especially to the head. Especially to the head, like I'm good.
Oh,
and
yeah.
defenseless. And then also like in baseball, like if you get squeamish, like you're not going to get a hit the whole year. So you kind of have to be standing there strong no matter what. At least in football, hypothetically, you can avoid hits.
Yeah.
And like also someone in the comment section was talking about the Damar Hamlin situation. Man, like can't we chalk that down to like more anomaly than football play?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, was that like a crushing hit or Ray
No, it
Lewis like
wasn't. He had a
clotheslining the
condition,
motherfucker? Like,
which is why he's back on the field.
Yeah. And the reason the reason that went off as much as it did, I think, is because it was on Monday Night Football. Like, if that were like a 1 p.m. standard game, I don't think that gets anywhere near the attention it did.
yeah, and media was
Well, the
waiting.
same thing that happened with the Detroit player last year, where his dad came out of the stands to come down because something happened to
Oh yeah,
him, and we never even heard the result.
yeah. Well, there was another thing. Lawson, I don't know if you saw this. So when the Dave Tepper beer thing happened, do you remember that when he poured beer on a
Yes.
fan? So what apparently like a story came out, and what actually happened with that. Earlier in the game, a player had gone down and he was on the ground for like 10, 15 minutes. Like I remember that being there live. I didn't think it was like life threatening or anything, but this guy was on the field for a minute, and some Jags fan allegedly came up and started talking trash to him about that. And that was like which is not a good excuse, but like still like that was another like life threatening situation potentially where it just didn't get reported because it was a 1 o'clock game between like two of the worst teams in the NFL.
They were bad teams then too. Like I
Yeah.
remember that game when you were there. You were feeling
That was a great game. That was a great time.
Best bets before we go.
Prop bets, write them.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard over 65 yards.
Yeah, I like the Chuba one.
My favorite one.
I will too. As long as our coach gives him the ball, which please give him the ball.
And Lauren, you're with me on the Chargers, right?
Yes, I'm with you on the Chargers.
All right, we'll
and hell, throw me on Philly. I went ahead and ranted long enough. Go ahead and put me on Philly. I'll eat it next week if I have to.
Got you. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you for coming on, guys. Bets will be up on Patreon. Guys. Give me like an hour and a half. I'm pretty clear what I'm going to do.
All right.
All right, guys. Good luck, everyone. Bye.
Have a good one. Oh, got you, Mike. Got you.